You've seen her face. You've seen her dance. You've even heard her laugh. And yet, who is Grace Lee?
She's a Korean girl.
Yes, she's Korean. It's a huge part of who she is. She's fluent in the language and visits Korea quite often. And yet, Grace started in a very different place. Raised in Haleyville, Alabama, she was the youngest of 3 kids. Sister Jeannie and brother Danny were in charge of keeping her out of trouble. No, Grace was not a bad child, just injury prone. So much so that Danny gave her the nickname Graceless.
She literally, on a regular basis, falls out of her chair. Like, she falls out of her, just falls. Or just, hits things. It's kind of funny. One time she was dancing on speakers and she fell off. She's just literally a walking accident. It's so funny.
You're an accident waiting to happen.
So her family continued to protect as our little Grace continued to explore, falling into creeks, down the stairs, pretty much everywhere that she set foot. She stepped into the limelight at an early age. Her parents entered her in a few beauty pageants. She even won the title of Little Miss Hemisphere, ironically using gymnastics as her talent.
Yeah, but she's a really cute kid. Like the kind of kid that everyone would stop on the street and be like, oh my God, that is the cutest kid ever. And I was not that cute, so I was always very jealous.
But she refused to be just a pretty face. A cheerleader in junior high, Grace also proved tough as a sweeper on her high school soccer team. In college, she turned to the books, earning a degree in international economics from UCLA and a master's in international affairs from George Washington University. But when she took an internship at a news station in Los Angeles, she instantly fell in love. Her first reporting job brought her to KGMB for 2 years before moving on to KCRA in Sacramento.
Her time spent here in Sacramento, she made so many friends. In fact, she made friends at a sushi place here, a local place. She got a roll named after her. That's right, the Spicy Grace Lee roll. So we will miss Grace Lee here at KCRA 3. I don't know, maybe I can get some money for these things now that you guys have her. She's just going to be awesome. What a superstar.
But now, she's back. And while you see a very polished, refined woman on air, Grace is still Grace. Our executive producer can still remember her having a hard time when things went wrong in the field.
I would just see her on my little monitor and she wouldn't be like, oh, it's raining, or, oh, there's a truck coming. You'd just see her with her script go, ah, ah.
Still, clumsiness aside, our new morning co-anchor has done well. In fact, a few years ago, she was featured in a documentary called The Grace Lee Project, a film about the many women named Grace Lee across the world.
Hi, my name is Grace Lee, and
even there she stood out, as the narrator seemed to take a special interest in her.
She's smart, she's successful, and she's really together. I can't help but be impressed by her, but also a little envious. The truth is, I'm intrigued by her because when I was in college, I wanted to be a reporter too.
I fell for the girl that's on TV. Simple as something that nobody knows. Her eyes are as big as her bubbly toes.
For all her accomplishments, Grace is as down to earth as anyone I've known. She spends her spare time reading, talking to friends, and scarfing down fast food. Her all-time favorite snack is tater tots. Success has not and will not ruin her perspective on life. Family remains top priority, and the person she's become has left them beaming with pride.
She made it happen and always had a good attitude about it. And just really believed, and she could taste it, she could smell it, she could feel it, she could touch it. She knew that was what was going to happen for her, and she made that happen. And that determinism, to me, and will, is, I think it's amazing.
So again, who is Grace Lee? It's a simple question. It has many answers, but for now, that's a start. Steve Uehara, KGMB 9 News.